We're going to briefly discuss some of the last ones, but really the ones that we've just gone over of the worksheet events are the main ones that you're going to encounter. We can look at some of the other ones, but the lens gallery render complete, never used it, and from my research, nobody else has either. There's like nobody that talks about this procedure. Basically, whenever screen updating is done or certain events are completed, you can use this to tell you that it's done. It's really boring. Then there's several for pivot tables, and those can be useful. The pivot table after value changes or before allocate changes, before commit changes, before discard changes, or change sync and pivot table update. Those can all be used if you use pivot tables. Some of these are self-explanatory. After a value changes in your pivot table, you want to maybe trigger it and do something. Or whenever the pivot table is updated by right-clicking and hitting refresh, that would trigger that one. And some of these other ones are just really self-explanatory if you use pivot tables quite a bit. Final one is table update. Again, this one is not what you think. A typical table or data set is, you hit tab and then you start typing more on the next line. That's not the table update that they're talking about. A table update here is whenever you have an external data source, and whenever that refreshes, that can possibly trigger an event that you can do a macro upon whenever it refreshes. But we're not going to go over those. Those are very atypical, especially for a typical VBA usage. Is the ones that we've got in this workbook, which you can download now, are very applicable to everyday use, and you can do all kinds of amazing things with these worksheet events. So that's basically the gist of these worksheet events. In the next series, we'll be moving on to the workbook events, which are more like the same thing on a global level. They can trigger on any and all sheets if you want them to for the same subject.